and happy Friday. We are going to do our Module 18 review right now. So it's on page 485. This first section is on vocabulary, so let's read our words from the vocabulary box. The first one is a bar graph, the next one is key, then line plot, picture graph, and scale. So number one says a blank is a graph that uses marks to record each piece of data on a number line. So number line is the key word here. What kind of graph uses a number line? That is the line plot. So number one is line plot. Number two says a blank helps to label a graph with equally spaced numbers. So which graph? We know it's not a line plot. So out of a bar graph and a picture graph, which one labels a graph with equally spaced numbers? That's the bar graph. So each line represents a number. And then number three says a blank uses symbols to show and compare information. So with the symbols, that one is picture graph. Alrighty, okay, so then the next part it says use the ribbons for problems 8 through 10. That's silly because we're not on number 8, but that's okay. Measure the length of each ribbon to the nearest quarter inch. Tell what strategy or tool you will use to solve the problem, explain your choice, and then find the answer. So I'm going to use my ruler, so that's the strategy I'll use to measure each ribbon. If you don't have a ruler, just listen carefully to what I measure. Otherwise, use your ruler. Remember, we start at the first line, not the edge of the ruler. So this first one is, let's see, 2 inches. So I'm just gonna write 2 next to it. The next one is, oh, that one's close. I'm gonna say 3/4 of an inch. The next one, and I'm going straight across like this. I should probably show you. I'm going straight across. The next one, I'm gonna say 1 1/2, which is the same as 1 2/4. And then now I'm starting in the second row. This one is also 1 1/2. And the second one, this one, I'm gonna say this one's 2 inches. And then the last one, 1 1/4 of an inch. Okay. Oh, I guess I could have written the links on that blue line. Oh well. Okay, so it says make a line plot to show the data. So we measured to the nearest quarter inch, and so I'm gonna divide this into quarters. And so I'm gonna start, I just wanna make sure I have enough lines. So if this is 0, 1/4, 1/2, 3/4, 1, 1 1/4, 1 1/2, 3/4, 2. Yeah, that'll work. So that's 2, 1, 0, and then that's 1/4, 1/2, 3/4, 1, 1 1/4, 1 1/2, 1 3/4, and then 1 4/4 is just 2. Okay, so now I'll do my X's. So 2 inches, so I'll just put an X on 2, cross it out. 3/4, put an X on 3/4, cross it out. 1 1/2, put an X on 1 1/2 and cross it out. 1 1/2 again, so do an X above, cross it out. 2 again, cross it out. 1 1/4, put an X and cross it out. So there's my line plot. It says how many more ribbons have a length of 1 1/2 inch and 2 inches combined than a length of 3/4 of an inch. So what I'm combining is the ribbons for 1 1/2 and 2 inches. So that's what I'm gonna add up. So 1 1/2, I have 2 ribbons. 2 inches, I have 2 ribbons. So 2 plus 2 is 4. Minus, because I'm comparing 3/4. How many ribbons have a length of 3/4? That is 1 ribbon. So I do 4 minus 1 equals 3 more ribbons with a length of 1 1/2 or 2 inches than a ribbon with a length of 3/4 of an inch. All right, next page. So it says, Zoe records in a table the type of animal that students in her class would like to learn how to draw. Make a bar graph that represents this data. So again, the title of the bar graph is going to match the survey. So we'll just say animal drawing choice. Okay, so then it already did the numbers for us and labeled it for us. That was so nice of them. Again, we have our category animal and then the individual animals. And on the side, we have the number of students and then the numbers going up. So let's see, 0 to 4, 4 to 8, those are all spaces of 4. So the scale is counting by 4s. So now for the bear, there are 10 students. So I'm going to draw the bar up past 8, and halfway between 8 and 12 is 10. Color that in. For the bird, there are 14 animals, so we'll go up past 12. Halfway between 12 and 16 is 14. The elephant, there is 12, so I'm going to go right up to the line of 12. Horse, there's 20, so I'm going to go all the way up to the line of 20. Color it in. And then the lion, there's 18, so I'm going to go past 16. Halfway between 16 and 20 is 18, so I'll go about halfway. Color it in. All right, so there's our bar graph. So cute. How many fewer students choose bear than horse and lion combined? So what are we combining? Horse and lion. So that's what we have to add up first. 20 students chose horse, so 20 plus 18 students chose lion. 20 plus 18 equals 38. Then we're going to subtract to compare. How many students chose bear? That would be 10 students, right? Yep. So then we do 38 minus 10, and that equals 28. So 28 fewer students chose bear. So that would be B. Ta-da! Okay. Miss Kelly, number 9, Miss Kelly collects data about the number of students who attend her art class. Make a picture graph that shows the data in the tally chart. Choose a number greater than 1 for what the symbol represents. So again, our title is going to be close to the survey. So we'll just say number. I'm going to do the symbol for number of students in art class. Okay, and then on the side is going to be our categories, which will be the months. So we'll start with March, April, May, June, and July. Okay, so now we need to find a key. So to do that, we just need to know and recognize patterns in the numbers. So we have 5, 6, 7 for March, 5 for April, 5, 10 for May, 2 for June, and 5, 6, 7, 8 for July. Okay, so we're kind of all over the place for these numbers. 7 and 5 are prime numbers, so they're not divisible by anything but 1 in itself, but we want a number greater than 1 to use as our scale. So I'm thinking that we use 2 for our scale and say that each symbol represents 2, because then we can use half a symbol to represent 1. So we'll say each, I don't know, I'll do a heart. Each heart represents 2 students. So now we'll do our picture part for the graph. So 7 students in March. So we can't do 7 divided by 2, but we can go down to 6. 6 divided by 2 is 3, so we'll have 3 hearts, and that equals 6, and then a half a heart equals 7. April, we have 5 students. Again, 5 is not divisible by 2, so we'll go down to 4. 4 is divisible by 2. 4 divided by 2 equals 2, so we'll draw 2 hearts plus 1/2 of a heart, which represents 1 student, and 4 plus 1 is 5. Then for May, we have 10 students. 10 divided by 2 is 5, so we'll draw 5 hearts. Oops. And then June, we have 2 students, so 2 divided by 2 is 1, so we just draw 1 heart. And then July, there's 8 students. 8 divided by 2 is 4, so we draw 4 hearts. And there's our picture graph. How many more students attend art class in May than in April and June combined? So April and June is what we're combining and comparing to May. So let's look at April and June and add those up first. So in April, we had 2, 4, 5 students, so we'll write 5. Plus, in June, we had 2 students, so we'll write 2. 5 plus 2 equals 7. Then we're going to compare that to May. And in May, we had 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 students. So we'll do 10 minus 7 equals 3. So there are 3 more students in May. All right, and that is it for the review. I hope this makes sense. You guys do not have a practice test for this module. This is new. And so I decided not to give you a practice test because I felt bad that I was having you do multiple lessons in a day. I know that's a lot. So use this time, this extra time, to catch up if you need to, and also to work on your end of year assessment, that big packet. Make sure you're working on a couple pages every day because that has to be turned in on May 29th, the last day of school. So use this extra time to work on that end of year assessment, or if you wanted to, you could get ahead a little bit because Monday there's no school because it's Memorial Day, and then Tuesday we are starting module 19, so you'll have to do the Are You Ready quiz and lesson 1, and I think lesson 2 as well. So it's kind of a lot to do on Tuesday. So if I were you, I would do the Are You Ready quiz right now, since you don't have to do the practice test. So you got all this time. I would do the Are You Ready quiz so that you are free, ready to go on Tuesday. So I hope you have a lovely weekend. Love your guts. Bye.